But yeah, here, let's go ahead and go over to Powerwash. I'm gonna go ahead and we got song request on, so feel free to throw a song in there. I'm gonna put one of my own in there, just to make sure that we've got enough for like people to start filtering in and putting their own songs. But yeah, hopefully everyone's week's been good. I was gonna say, it's like, wait, I gotta love OBS. Also, the delayed like startup was in part because fucking Mix Up Bot decided to update. Furniture unlocked. Purchase furniture via the furniture catalog in the shop. Okay, so this is a I see. There's a furniture catalog. $2,000 for rustic shelving? My God. Honestly, like, that is kind of intense, but, you know, to be fair, like, I also did buy everything from the first game, so, like, I can't act like I'm not gonna, at some point, reasonably get it. But yeah. Not really a whole lot going on with me. Removals, van free to play, Art Deco house. I think that was what we were working on. Yeah, okay. Continue job. But yeah, I'm trying to think of like what all I ended up I guess like on the relevant to this song. Yesterday, well, hanging out with some friends, like I watched the I finished watching rather the One Piece live action. And or One Piece live action season 2, I guess, because you know, technically the series isn't done, but like you know what I mean. And I am very pleasantly surprised with how things turned out, even if they kind of massacred my boy. The Chopper's human like monster form is objectively awful looking. Well, come on in, Kilo. How dare you throw rocks at me? I parry them. I parry them back at you. How you holding up? It very much is. It does make me sad. Parry this. There's nothing there to parry. I can't dodge. Oh, I can't. Never mind. I can't parry that. Are we able to get a new chair sewn? I ordered one because I'm like, I'm gonna have to send follow-up emails to Herman Miller, but I'm like, you know, that's gonna take like a couple of months to sort out. So like, in the meantime, I'm gonna get a nice chair from another company. Welcome on, Brianna and Casper. Go ahead, have your sweet beans. Definitely an unwelcome surprise for sure was that thing breaking. But like, you know, oh, thank you for the 3 stream streak, Kilo. So yeah, I now officially will be going to AC. So anyone who is going to AC, I will see you there. I don't know who else is going to AC. I should probably I know like I'm gonna see Dell there. This song qualifies as classic rock nowadays, right? This song is, my guess would probably be the 80s, so this is like a 40-year-old song. I say, and then everyone in chat takes psychic damage from that knowledge. Actually, nowadays it's probably closing on 50s, because it's probably like mid-40s or mid-80s. It's classified as classic rock since the 2000s? Okay. So nowadays it might be considered vintage rock. I was definitely upset to learn that, I guess to be fair, it's not vintage yet, but Portal 2 is retro. We are closing in on Portal 1 being considered vintage, though. Old rock. Because, if I remember right, vintage is like 25 years, and Portal 1 was 2007, so we are 6 years away from Portal 1 being considered vintage. That's like upsetting knowledge for sure. Not going to act, but I did pre-order a new anamorphic lens that gets released next week, so everyone on MFF looks sexy as fuck. I feel old now when I hear late 90s songs on classic hit stations. But yeah, no. I'm trying to think of like what all... I think the thing that like one of the things that hit me the hardest was the next generation not knowing what the song Brick House is. I was watching a TikTok video where like it was like someone reading a Reddit you know, Ask Me Anything, or like you know, one of those Reddit, you know, posts, and the question was like, what was the most inappropriate song you've been asked to play at a wedding? And someone's like, it's not necessarily inappropriate by itself, but he was describing a scenario where like someone was so drunk that they ate shit and had to be carried out to like an ambulance, and then he was signaled by the fucking like by the groom to play Brick House. And the comment section was full of people saying, what's Brick House? And I aged 10,000 years. Classic station. Hey, I just... Okay, wait, hold up. How old is... Hey, I just met you? That song actually probably is getting old enough where, like, I could see it being on, like, a classic pop. Wise Crow. But no, I was not necessarily pleased with hearing that statement. That song is now 12 years old. Oh my fucking god. Not too much on my girl, CRJ. It's hopeless. Grimm's just too good. September 10th, 2011. The joke writes itself. I'm not gonna make the joke, but the joke is there. All you have to do is look for it. Oh, it's older. Okay, hold on a moment. We got a rant core redeem from Grimm, so I gotta complete that. It's hopeless. There's no use fighting back. Grimm is just too much of a good boy. He's just too good. He's too obedient, too willing to listen, too you know, cuddleable. Too stop spitting it. No, I refuse. I'm not. I'm gonna keep spinning it. I'm gonna spin you right around, baby, right around like a record. And I'm gonna call you a good creature, and I'm gonna give you head pats, I'm gonna take you for walkies, and I'm gonna bully you because you're a little brat nerd. I say it with all of the affection and love in my heart. But also, you're a good dog. We appreciate you. Ready the trebuchets again. Ready them all you want. We've been over this. All you're gonna do is make me more powerful. There is no stopping. I am inevitable. I am the monkey's paw. You can throw Pokemon Ocean. I'm glad you're sweeping. I almost read that as Treb buckets for some reason. Is that Alex Trebek's Bucket Sona? Would that be Trebucket? That's such an esoteric reference. I'm gonna Starky. Welcome on Chronos. Glad you're sweeping. Phoenix, why are you so determined to kill me with Pikmin? I'm going to die. I was told to. What did you do to Fees? I didn't do anything. I like how there was like that heal to full, and then you guys were like, no, all of us need to work together to take down the giant bird with small Pikmin. Why? I'm gonna eat them. I'm gonna start eating them. You can't stop me. I am far more powerful than your Pikmin, frankly, could ever understand. I'm gonna hydrate real quick. You better not keep throwing Pikmin. It's honestly a little bit rude. A little bit rude. Don't press the button. Oh, no.
Please, do not push the button. You have no idea what it...
The bananas is blended. Are you happy, chat? Is this what you wanted? You wanted half of me off screen? He's down, take his shirt. All right, I'm gonna keep power washing. Yes. The bananas. Yes, feet. Not the feet pick. Chat, don't take feet pics. Feet and tail. Listen, I don't shake my tail feathers. I'm white, so I can't dance. Cries and sobs. Do not take pictures of. Fascinating. Wait, is BikuBot disconnected? Oh no, there we go. It was. I think it was handling something.
Oh, Starky, did you hear? The Witch Hat Atelier fandom, the anime watchers mostly, are making war crime spells, proving the pointed hats that maybe magic should be for a select few.
Honestly, I think even if, like, I think the pointed hats kind of got a point. I think yeah, like I don't necessarily think everyone should be trusted with magic. Thank you for the pets, although you can't see that you've given them to me. Well, come on, Dumori. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Also, it's way too easy to make war crime spells. Remember, it's not a war crime because you're technically not at war. It's just a regular crime against humanity. Thanks, Zeph. Thanks, Canada. Yeah, that's all Canada. Unironically, the Geneva Convention is mostly Canada's fault. Welcome on in, Red. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. If one of my mods is available, can we get a shout out for, can we get one for, Amori, and then one for the Red Dragoon? And then, Canada did most of the, did film most of the list. Canadians got very comfortable. We cannot trust Canada. You cannot trust Canada. Don't trust them. Everything they do is to try to get you to lower your trust. Like lower your guards. That way they can commit horrible war crimes to you. Thanks, no problem. How you doing though, Ray? Thank you for stopping by. Also, welcome on, Tommy. It's glad to have you as well. I'm gonna be honest with you. I guess I'm glad that. What's up, Chris?
My favorite war crime fan spell is turning someone's hat into a brim hat limo.
How is that a war crime? Oh my god, High School Musical 3? Welcome on, Ashel. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Hey, Burb, how's the watch? It's going alright. Currently, we're talking about magic war crimes, and someone put High School Musical 3. I won't lie. I guess I should have known it when I was a kid, but I genuinely enjoyed High School Musical when I was like a middle schooler. And I think that probably should have been one of the moments where I realized I was gay way sooner than I actually did.
Why is it Geneva Convention if Canada made most of it? Shouldn't it be Ottawa Convention?
Because it was signed in Geneva. It's kind of like how syphilis is named differently depending on what language it is. I believe the British call it. Hold up, because there's syphilis naming conventions. Syphilis names. Syphilis name. Names. Because they kept, like, it was one of the things where they kept using it as propaganda. Like I think it was like the French called it the German disease, the Germans called it the Italian disease or some shit. Like it was used exclusively to, like, you know, reference like other regions. But like it ended up being like this weird it's kind of like they try to avoid doing that now. There's a reason that, like, it was called COVID-19. Like remember swine flu? What's up, Chris?
Also, I'm more clothed than you now.
That's a good point, actually. Or, like, the fact that, like, for a while there, they were like, oh, it's swine flu. But then, like, they were like, wait, no, let's call it H1N1. Because, like, people were selling less pork. What's up, Chris?
Well, the funny explanation is that the pointed hats are racists against your hat preference, but in law is because brim hats are worn to hide your identity.
I love the German. I love the jazz German child. Welcome on, Nom. Good to have you, sweet bean. You share for Nom? Boom, 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 boom. And for love. Dun, dun, dun. The rats on the cruises. But yeah, no, like... And that's, like, why it was, like, you know, like, they've specifically changed the names of diseases because they are aware of, like the knockoff, like, to some degree, the human populace is fucking stupid. And, like, the human populace is like, oh, it's called this thing? It's because it, like, you know, the disease must come from there. Remember the lockdown started and Fox said this will be over because it's COVID-19, meaning we've dealt with it before? Yeah, very agreed. Which is like, you know, to some degree, I think it helps that Geneva is Switzerland, I want to say, which is famously one of the very neutral parties. If Geneva were in, like, Germany, we would all be like, yeah, it's called the Geneva Convention because that's where all the war crimes happened. I realize the overhype because it legit is because of rat droppings. It's not Corona 2.0. Oh, about the yeah, there was the hantavirus. The hantavirus cruise, right? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think I ever want to do a cruise. I think increasingly I am anti-cruise. The hantavirus? No, not the hentai virus. It's very different. But no, like, I think I'm anti-cruise increasingly. Nope, every cruise horror story discourages me. I did like the, like, 9-month-long cruise that ended with multiple divorces. Fun fact, the Guinness World Record was named as it was because of a group of drunk pub goers were drinking Guinness. The thing is, I don't know enough to dispute that. I remember the poop cruise. I love the Spanish flu because America, being American, but Spain was the first country to report on it instead of trying to hide it. Yeah, because Spain was the only country that wasn't in a war at the time. Spain was just like, yeah, there is a virus. It exists. Like, there's no reason for us to hide this information because they're not actively in a war. And so, like, they're like, yeah, this virus exists. And then it got known as the Spanish virus, even though, like, it literally came from the Americas. Hey, no, why are you anti-Tom Cruise? No, not the actor, the inventor of the hover-round. I don't know if the inventor of the hover-round is a Scientologist or not. That was going to be my immediate joke, but then you kind of like harpooned it for me, and now I can't be funny. So thanks for that. But no, I don't think I would ever want to go on a cruise. I would love to go on a ship. Also, do we ever get a shout out for Astral? Can we get one of those for Astral? And Penelope Cruz. I don't know which I've heard of. There are so many famous people I've heard of, but I have no idea what they are, like, famous for. I just kind of like nod my I like smile and nod my head whenever someone's talking about like the actors they're excited about. No gaycation cruise for Starky. I go on plenty of vacations. I just don't want to go on a cruise. And you're really gonna go on a You're really gonna go on a gaycation where you don't go to the mountains? That's just, you know. That's just like homophobic. I'm gonna be honest with you. Every day is vacation for Starky. Exactly. To quote Love is War, the mountain is filled with bugs. What, Kaguya-sama? God, I need to finish Kaguya-sama still, the anime. I'm aware that the manga kind of just petered out and died. Also, apparently the same mangaka wrote Oshinoko, and the exact same thing happens, so... I think the mangaka just gets bored. It kind of seems like the mangaka just gets bored with the stories he's writing. Starky, why you keep not watching bangers? I don't have much free time. Yeah, the mangaka literally gets bored. I don't know about the mountain bears, but I'm sure that you did like to hike up your mountain, Starky. I'm gonna be the one doing the hiking, I'll have you know. The only mountain bear I know is Marsh. Yeah, I think I don't really know of any other bear sona havers that are particularly camp or like wilderness oriented. Monokuma is a mountain bear. Monokuma is a crime against humanity. The only person who is allowed to use Monokuma and horny words in the same sentence as Marms. He has exclusive rights to that particular to that particular well of internet discourse. Whereas Marms to defend their man. I mean, to be fair, it is like a relatively late over in Ireland or the UK. UK absolutely, but like I don't know about Ireland. The only thing I know about the Irish accent is that instead of saying three, you say tree. 333. And like that's something of like a almost like an accent purist thing, where like I've heard Irish people joke about like getting called out by their parents for saying three. They're like, the fuck you saying three for? Biologically I am British, so I'm not allowed to use the Irish or Scottish or Welsh accents. I don't want to cause any more, issues. Ireland and Scotland have had enough of this bullshit, to be honest. Huh, you're British? That's a good joke, actually. That's a genuinely a good joke. Hold up. You get the rare... Coming for your love way. Take on me. But yeah, like largely I'm trying to think of like anything that's been going on with life. I need to figure out what I'm gonna be making for food next week. I have like I've just been like, I think part of it's like I'm struggling with executive dysfunction. Wait, take on me and no memes. It's because it was put in there by Phoenix. It's very relatable. It's one of those extremely fucking frustrating things about having ADHD, is that like having ADHD means that I really struggle to get things done without my meds, except because of the fact that my meds are a controlled substance, I have to go through 10,000 fucking steps to get those motherfuckers refilled. Like I was even proactive, and I was like, hey, I need to get my refills, and I called the fucking like the refill line, and it took a full fucking week for them to refill it. The world does not like legitimately, the American healthcare system does not want me to be properly medicated. It feels like. Why don't I make a big pot of pho, Starky? I don't trust myself to make pho. I guess it wouldn't be that difficult. But pho is also like a lot more of like a cold rainy day dish to me. Instead of like we are starting to get into like some of the warmer months of spring. Welcome on in, Big O. Good to have you, Sweet Bean. Can we just shout out for Big O Lux, right? I don't think I have it, just autistic and depressed. My usual shorthand, and like this is, you know, take this as a sign for like steps to like research steps to like help yourself moderate. Oh, what's up, Chris?
The American healthcare system actively hates their customers. Sip.
Yep. If you drink coffee or like a heavily caffeinated beverage, and it helps you focus more, like if you drink it, you're not like you're as tired as you normally are, and it helps you focus more, then that's a sign of ADHD, and it's probably like the premier sign of ADHD. And we're gonna go ape shit on a stain and waggle the spray gun around like a maniac. I like forming these like nice kind of straight lines of like slowly wiping away the stain from existence. It's just like so pleasant. The coffee does nothing to me, to be honest. I don't think I like it that much to begin with. I will say, that might still be a sign. Because, like, I thought coffee didn't do anything for me for the longest time. And it turned out that, like, because it was the only means... Like, I'd had a formal ADHD diagnosis since I was 8. But I'd never been medicated for it. So my comfort beverage is literally, it's like actually coffee. Like, coffee helps me, like, if I'm ever, like, super upset and, like, I'm struggling to, like, feel good about life, I go get a coffee. Because it helps me calm down and feel better about my life. That's tea for me. What type of tea? This is actually important. I need to drink coffee concentrate to feel awake. That's me in milkshakes. Chamomile tea for me. Okay, so you probably don't have... Or, no, wait, hold up. That's Casper, not Astral. Tea is nice. Chamomile tea, if it's your, like, comfort beverage, that you probably don't have ADHD. Because chamomile is very specifically a suppressant. Regular I'm glad Automod caught that, but it is really funny in this context. It caught ass black as a offensive term. I do have ADHD. Sorry, just typed without thinking. Regular ass black tea though, I have some bergamot for special days. So I will say, black tea is the second most caffeinated type of tea. It is the second most, like, caffeinated type of tea. I think only behind, like, green tea. Black tea is equivalent to coffee in terms of caffeine contents. Maybe, like, a little bit less extreme, but, like, this is a reminder. Yeah, I'm not a medical professional. I'm giving these as indicators to be like, hey, I'm not about to fucking give you ADHD meds, but like, if you're struggling with like feelings of anxiety and an inability to get started on tasks, it might be worth like investigating, resources for coping with ADHD. And then like, and if that's insufficient, maybe talk to your general practitioner about like a formal diagnosis. Is it? Yeah, black tea is like heavily caffeinated. Green to me tastes grassy. It depends on the type of green tea. Matcha is very grassy to me. I can drink matcha, but it's not my favorite. I mean, I also have a therapist and said it was not necessary. I already have my therapist and said it's not necessary. As someone who has gone through the gambit of like I had a GP in high school who was like convinced that like like he was one of those like, oh, kids don't need meds, they just need like, proper parenting structure. And he took me off my antidepressants that I'd been on since I was 8 years old. I mean, she tested me. Okay, never mind then. So anyways, yeah, I hated that GP because he effectively made me deeply depressed through my high school years. That guy was an asshole and I hate him. The funny thing is he ended up working with my mom later and she was just as displeased. She was more displeased with him than I was. And she was just staring. Anytime he would give her like, you know, a prognosis, she would be like, are you sure? Like, with that knowledge that like he had specifically fucked over my teenage years. But no, like if you have like a formal testing diagnosis, if you do a formal test and it came back with like, you know, like you don't have ADHD, it is one of those things where it's underreported, but like, as long as you can function day to day, that's the big thing. My comfort drink is water, so I hydrate all the streamers. That's fair. Although, like, it is, I think it is more, like, ADHD is more underreported in women than it is in men. Because ADHD in women, like when boys are, like, you know, when boys are kids, like, when men are kids and they have ADHD, they're disruptive, so they immediately get the diagnosis. When women are children and they have ADHD, they just, like, doodle in their notebook the entire day. So like they're not disruptive in a way that like will get them noticed. So like women are notoriously underreported in terms of like ADHD. Most of neurodivergence and sickness are, to be honest. That's fair. ADHD is being more understood these days. That's the thing. It's like the numbers for like the prevalence of ADHD and like ASD go up over time, but that's because we have a better understanding nowadays than when, you know, Brainworms McGee was a kid. I think my mom has ADHD and she definitely gets more focused with coffee. My mom definitely has ADHD. And it took her like, it took her close to 60 years to realize it. Cause like one day we were talking and she was just like, Starky, do you think I have ADHD? And I've known this woman my entire life. I know the depths of like her behavior. I know how much Mountain Dew she drinks. I looked at her and I was just like, I was just like, yes, you have ADHD. Absolutely. And I'm more confident saying that to her because she is a nurse and B, also ADHD is like really heavily like genetic. She's not on any meds for it, but like, you know, it's definitely it's definitely like we know where my ADHD came from. I love that woman to bits. She is so sweet. I heard another way to call ADHD is Dave, and I find that funny. Dave, I'm trying to get like what the I'm assuming that's a Dave the Diver. I'm assuming it's like an acronym. It's like, you know, deficit attention something, you know, yada yada. But you know, that's all of this is to say like I'm not gonna like formally diagnose you, but like if you're struggling with like task motivation, if you're in a situation like, okay, my standard for what ADHD is that I will forget to drink water until I almost like have to go to the hospital sometimes. It was a lot more of a problem in college and high school, but in high school, I would forget to drink water so hard that I almost passed out a couple of times. Because my body just didn't tell me. My body didn't send the signals, hey, fuckface, you're thirsty. And I just wouldn't get them. My brain would never, oh, wait, you're thirsty. And like that effect has gone away entirely since I started taking ADHD meds. I didn't like to drink water when I was a kid, never been at that point. Or like the summer where I almost didn't leave the house, but I lost like 8 pounds because I would wake up, like skip 2 meals and just play like Dota all day. I would eat dinner, and then that would be the extent of my calories for the day, because my brain would just never be like, hey, you should probably eat something. I put off replacing a faulty mouse for over a year, despite having despite being able to have one delivered to me within an hour if I so wanted. When I finally got it, it took me another 3 days to open the box and plug it in. Yeah, that's you know, I sympathize very deeply with that experience. So, like, you know, like, you know, ADHD is not, you know, it is a very particular thing. I forget to clean my floor a lot. It's like task avoidance, but like on a neurological level. What I'm hearing is you need someone to living with you if you ever play Deadlock and make sure you eat and such. Yeah, that's kind of why I'm like, I think I would enjoy Deadlock. I think it would probably be a net negative for my life if I started playing Deadlock. Because my ability to function at just about every level would decrease meaningfully. This house, I'm like, if this house were like $100,000, I'd pick it up. But like, this house kind of low-key sucks ass. Oh my god, is this? I saw it in the queue earlier. Is this? I can feel it calling in the air tonight. So long. Yeah, it's Phil Collins. Success or success? Wait, what did I say success? I'm sorry, I was too busy cleaning a building. Oh, this house. Okay, that's right. This house does kind of, yeah, it sucks ass. I'm not a huge fan of this style of architecture. But it also is like a house in the year of our Lord 2026, so it does in fact start at like probably 8 digits. I feel like 100,000 nowadays gets you like a shed. I feel like that's like okay, you know, like well, congratulations. You've really made it, and it's just like I'm trying to think like it's a very much a recurring joke of like, oh, the like house that they think is gonna be great, and they get there and then it's like it's awful. Honestly, a Victorian house would have more character than the most modern apartments. I think that's the thing. It's like welcome on Saint of all. Go ahead, you sweet bean. I want like a European house, but with heating and cooling. I want a house that's built to last like the European houses are. And then I want it with central air. And I feel like that's like all I would need. I don't care if it's got like a fucking, like, I don't care about any other amenities. Just something stable that's not gonna fucking like, you know, it's not gonna fall apart. Okay, speaking of things falling apart. Apparently, IKEA started using a literal fucking cardboard in its furniture. Modern amenities, but older architecture, basically. Like apparently, pieces of IKEA furniture now are being sold with literal cardboard. Like corrugated cardboard ass fucking like pieces of furniture. And like, I'm gonna be honest with you, if you know, IKEA furniture is cheap, but like that's fucking unacceptable actually. That's not furniture, that's a fucking that's a decoration at that point. Anyways, I hate capitalism to the surprise of absolutely 0 people. What? Starky hates capitalism? I never would have guessed. Listen, I know what I'm about. I think with the hydrate. My deep abiding loathing of the system of capital. Capitalism hates us, so it's fair to hate it back. That's fair. Yeah. I definitely had a moment earlier where I'm like, at what point do we start getting like, like prediction market bets about like whether or not a like famous CEO gets taken out by their employees? Just some like macabre humor about it, the whole thing. I don't know. I have a dark sense of humor. Admittedly, like, you know, dark from the perspective of haha, death funny, but like, you know, I feel like some people take dark humor and they're like, haha, racism funny, but no, racism never funny. Cynic, they were the 250 stream streak. Oh my god. CEO, people hate this. Add more AI, they'll love it. Then workers. I was fucking flabbergasted by, like, on the topic of shit that happened on the internet, I was flabbergasted by party animals just committing ritualistic like corporate suicide. It was fucking wild to like learn that they tried to run an AI contest and immediately got fucking nuked off of the face of the earth. Do you see? I saw the reaction where they're like, I saw the reaction where they're like, it's just a tool. I don't know why you're so upset about it, but it's okay. We'll let you decide our values for us. So suffice it to say, I'm glad that I have not played party animals on the stream. I feel somewhat vindicated. Might be a little too on the nose. There was the one U.S. soldier who bet on Maduro being out of the state by a certain date because he was part of the operation to kidnap him. Poll was so funny where they still really want AI thing, but everyone was telling them to. Yeah, it was like cancel the competition, make the competition like still, but no AI is allowed, or like let there be like a non-AI track for the competition. And like 60% of the votes were like cancel the competition entirely, and the other I think 5% were like, yeah, let's just add a non-AI track. I wonder what those 5% of people are. I feel like at some point that becomes like not even like they believe in the idea they're spouting. They're just choosing the fucking stupidest option to be funny. And like that's actually like a known, like I think if memory serves, that's kind of like a known issue in polling, is that like if you ask the question of like, you know, if you could kill yourself and everyone else in the world right now, would you do it? It would be like 95% yes vote. There's like the 5% that's always going to choose the dumbest possible option. It's like no matter how, like, you know, oh, we have option A and then option B is option A but stupid. Somehow there'll be 5 votes for option B. It's like, would you like to be kicked in the balls versus would you like to be kicked in the balls and also punched in the jaw? It's like, okay. And they're like, so like when people are doing pollings, you have to kind of remember that there's always going to be like a 5 to 10% like error of people just picking the thing that's the dumbest for the giggles. I think it was Andrew said that his husband was watching him play this and it was driving him crazy because you have to start from the top and work your way down. I won't lie, that was actually like I made I made a joke to that effect yesterday because I realized that I was starting from the bottom and working up when that's the opposite of what you want to do. Because the idea is that, like, as you wash it, you want the dirt to, like, wash down. But if you start at the bottom, you're just re-dirtying the areas that you've already cleaned. Is this the most karaoke song? Slash, is this the most English karaoke song? Searching in the night. Actually, no, wait, it would be What's Your Starky? Mine is Sunshine, Lollipops, and Rainbows. My go-to karaoke song is Welcome to the Internet by Bo Burnham. Starky, is it ADHD to like Monster Hunter? Monster Hunter. Oh, the video game series. I don't think so. I think there's plenty of no, but it may be furry. If you play Monster Hunter for the monster designs, you're either a furry or a tabletop RPG player. Like you were squarely within that subset of, like, you could be both, but you're one of the two for sure. Sorry, is ADHD be more focused after a triple shot of espresso? Of Monster Espresso? Who the fuck? Okay, no, I'm not. Do not use Monster to brew your coffee. The coffee deserves better than that. This sounds disgusting. I'm very anti-energy drink. I drink Gamer Sops. I was pleasantly surprised by Gamer Sops. But in general, I do suggest coffee. Because, like, it is in general just a lot better for you. A friend of mine was thankfully been cutting back, but he used to have a huge monster addiction and would show us a fridge full of stuff and how he'd go through it multiple cans a day? I did use Celsius for a bit. My big thing is with energy drinks is, like, some of them are just, like, so overwhelmingly sweet. Also, I did try to drink the, there were days where I had to drink the Monster coffee, and that shit is fucking disgusting. Like, it is actually vile. If I didn't need the caffeine, I would have thrown it away. What is this? Oh, this is from Reverse 1999, so Shanna put it in. Theodolite? Why is... It's a telescope. What the fuck do you mean, theodolite? I will say there are also definitely, like, certain energy drinks that take it too far. I definitely had I remember being a kid and one of my brother's friends rather, got hospitalized because he took it. So it was an energy drink called Redline, and it had something like it had twice the daily dose of, like, caffeine, like the limits of what was recommended. And he took that shit with his fucking heart meds and had to go to the hospital. And like, you know, the Panera Death Lemonade, like I think there is like a sign that like there is such a thing as too much caffeine. There's a reason I try to detox. Like I try to like let my tolerance go back to 0 during the weekend. I try to avoid caffeine. I see why people like the white Monster energy drink, though I don't really like it. I prefer tea. Yeah, I would just rather have a good coffee. Garion? Oh shit, that's right. Sorry, Garion, the board shut's broken. If one of my mods could refund that. Can we show for Garion, though? For his crimes and sins. How you doing, you sweet board gear? Board gear? I need to shush you because I need to understand what the heck I'm hearing. It's from Reverse 1999. Also, I've gotten scammed. Moderators, break their kneecaps and refund them. Refund their kneecaps as well. But how you doing? Here, let me. If one of my mods is available, I think my mods might be busy. So here, let me get the crafty shout out in. How you doing? How you holding up? How was Final Fantasy? That's right. You picked up Final Fantasy 14. What's a mod? Good question. It's a modification to your video games. You have to delete the meta.inf in order to get the mod working on your instance of Minecraft. That's the only thing I remember from trying to mod Minecraft. I never got it to successfully work, but delete Windows 32, got it exactly. Break my kneecaps and I'll power wash your rear. It is maternity. That's a joke. For legal reasons, for legal reasons, that's a joke. I am the keymaster. I will unlock your ass, girl. Listen, I'm allowed to say on his shit sometimes. Power wash your rear sounds like I'll come on your ass. That's what I was thinking. I mean, I've seen art of that. But I'm doing well, trying to get better. What? What? Oh, I'm glad you're doing well. I have been keeping my eye out on the the Telegram, and I'm sorry to hear that you're still struggling a little bit, but I'm glad you're doing better at least. Sounds like Starky's gonna have a lot of fun at AC. Are you fucking kidding me? I never have time for room parties or sex at conventions. I'm too busy like fucking trying to meet all the friends I know are gonna be there. Although maybe I should say fuck it and just be like, I'm just gonna party, this AC. I definitely have a bad habit of like working myself to the point of exhaustion for conventions. Want me to force you to make time? Phoenix is like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna find Starky's itinerary. I'm gonna shred it and then burn it. Girl, no, I was being literal. You were being literal about power washing my ass. I mean, I have a bidet. I have a bidet. It's honestly really nice. I recommend it if you can get a bidet. They're very handy. I struggle to travel because I'm like, I want to have a bidet. I don't see myself ever going to a furry convention, but I feel like when one's going on, because furry Twitch becomes relatively quiet during one. Yeah, I can imagine. It's probably pretty apparent. I'm gonna grab a little power wash and clean your rear, you stinky. I'm not. How dare you? I wash daily. I'm a very clean burb. Sometimes you gotta find your friends and shred them. I said shred my itinerary, not shred my friends. I dare. I'm gonna put you in the hot spring that turns you into a panda bear. The specifically that one from it was the name of the anime, Ranma 1/2. You clean yourself in mud? I do not. I clean myself in water. And not even the dirty brown water. It's just normal water. I'm a shred Starky, but he has strictly forbidden me from doing that. What do you mean shred? I'm goo. How the fuck do you shred goo? Jokes on you, I'm already a pain in 14. I guess it's fair. There's probably like a ton of mods for like the models. I know there's the PP mod for Final Fantasy 14 for Hrothgars. And I imagine it's probably also there for like Rogadin. What if we push Starky in Crow Pond? Suspiciously black water that totally doesn't make you a drown. I would never do that. I would never, I would never create a suspicious black pond that people just incidentally fall into. Is that where you're washing away suspicious drone goo residue? If Ranma Pond existed, they would be so popular. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think we're washing away, I think we're washing away, like, volcanic substrate. But, you know, I've never... I tried... I got to character creation, and I got bored, and I stopped playing Final Fantasy 14. And from everything I've heard, I feel like it's the kind of game I would really struggle to enjoy. Because everyone's like, yeah, Final Fantasy 14 is kind of shit until you get to A Realm Reborn. You have to get through like 80 hours before the game starts getting compelling, and I'm like, that might be the least compelling fucking thing I've ever heard for a video game. People over-exaggerate for A Realm Reborn. Girl, I'm telling you. They don't want you to read and enjoy the world building and setting. Make fun of a Realm Reborn, and that shit is peak. Well, I'm not saying. That's what I'm saying. Is like everyone's like, yo, a Realm Reborn is fucking worth 80 hours of miserable like lore and world building. And I'm like, that, you know, I respect it, but also I don't have that kind of fucking free time. That is literally a day job. That is 2 weeks of a day job. What the fuck do you mean 80 hours? What are these, like, little... Okay, but... Counter-argument? I'm willing to hear this counter-argument, but I might not entertain it. I mean, you can get, you can just go as your own pace, and the free trial saves you money. You don't have to sit for 50 hours and speedrun that shit. You can take your time with it. Also that. The thing is, I feel like I would like... I struggle to, like, enjoy games that are, like, grindy without, like, having any kind of, like... You know, I like games where, like, I feel like my play style is, like, unique. I think that's why I enjoy fighting games. Which is, like, it's kind of proof that I genuinely don't, So he's not a multiplayer guy. I have, like... I'm weird about multiplayer. I like multiplayer with skill expression, but I also am afraid to play multiplayer games with skill expression with friends because I don't want to fucking... Like, I get super into those, and that means I'm gonna immediately, like, fucking destroy, like new players. And so I get trapped in this, like, middle ground where, like, I'm too good to fight new players, but way too bad to fight anyone who's, like, super seasoned. Okay, but counter argument for it, too. They're fine, but they look better because the bar for free races is down in hell. To be fair, all the main story quests can be done entirely by yourself. Is that why you won't play Rivals Faith with me? It's, like, part of the anxiety, for sure. Welcome on to Sorrel. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. You can technically do the main story quests as a single player. I actually feel like I would find that less compelling. I think if I'm going to get into an MMO, I would need to treat it the same way I would treat it like a tabletop RPG with friends. I would need to have, like, a 3 to 4 hour period once a week where, like, people hop on a call and we just yap while grinding. Like, I think that's the only way I could ever get into an MMO. Or like the playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3 with Ambrose. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Kind of like what happened to that, where like we were doing that once a week. It was a couple of hours every time we played it, and then like we ended up playing like it was like 100 hours in total. But like the entire time, I never felt like I was like overwhelmed because like I was specifically setting aside the time for it. I think I look at like the daily like login quests or whatever that I feel like most MMOs have, and they end up being like really off-putting. People will jump to help you. It happened to me. If you need help with a dungeon or whatever. You ever play Final Fantasy 14? Do it for the story, and I'm telling you, girl. Yeah, 14 people are rabid to get more people in. Oh, don't worry, I've seen that firsthand. I've seen the eagerness with which people were trying to get Pop Mutt into Final Fantasy 14. I think I'm just not like an MMO, girly. They're like One Piece fans. Yeah, okay. You know what? I understand that impulse actually. Because, like, I tried... 14 is better, though. I'm not... this feels like a conversation that could potentially end... Yeah, agree to disagree, shall we say. It's one of the things where I'm like, this is like an extreme opinion about things that people are very, 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 very serious about. So I'm gonna go ahead and say not having that conversation. Honestly, I'm surprised that like one of the Paul brothers is LARPing as a One Piece fan. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten, like, more, like, direct shit from the One Piece community. I guess to be fair, like, we're all just kind of collectively ignoring his dumbass. It's like, that's probably a reason why. To be fair, I did give both a try and kind of drop them equally. The difference is that I would go back to 14. I mean, I ended up reading through all of One Piece in a couple months. By just, like, reading an hour each night, like, as I was settling in for bed. And I feel like that's, I think that's the thing. It's like, I would rather read for an hour than open a game for an hour, if that makes sense. The obvious option is to ignore him. Long-form storytelling is always a hard sell. If you want to get my honest opinion about 14, give it a serious try, then judge it yourself. This bum-ass tried to ruin Yu-Gi-Oh! And it didn't work. What was the, But no, I think okay, it's actually like... It's actually like an interesting idea that you've kind of, like, by pointing this out, you've kind of made me realize, well, come on and, thank you for the 30 stream streak, Sorrel. Also, thank you for the spout spins. I think I realized that, like, opening up a video game is harder for me than reading a book. But I do it way more often? That's weird. Because I'm like, yeah, if I guess it's like one of those like activity things where like I'm so constantly overstimulated that like the idea of opening a video game is like inviting more stimulation, and like that's off-putting in its own way. Fuck, I need to read more books, don't I? Someone I knew tried Final Fantasy 14 because of all the praise and because they were interested in the RP scene, but it was very quickly repelled because they made a ton of they made the mistake of RPing while black. They got a ton of fetishy racist. Oh God, yeah, that's not great. Wanting to read for an hour over gaming for an hour is how it should be. I've tried to get back to the habit of reading more, but I've always found the difference to be the ease of finding what keeps your interest. Welcome on in, Magic Guy. Go to be Sweet Bean. It's like when I start a book, I'm like way more consistent about it. But like the idea, like the issue is starting a book. Like once I start the book, like I will be consistent with it until I finish it or the series. But like starting the book is like where kind of the difficulties lies. And I won't lie, I spend a decent amount of time just on my phone watching YouTube videos. That is like kind of a point of shame, but it's also like one of those things where I'm like, you know, of all the things I could beat myself up over, that's not super high on the list. Yeah, I think you still have one of my books. I definitely do. I might have two. I mean, my motivation for 14 was literally spite, and I decided to give it a full shot. My A Realm Reborn experience was filled with fucking memery because I was aware that the start was extremely boring. Well, come on, Ruffles. Good to have you, Sweet Bean. To be fair, manga is a really good medium book to tackle at your own pace. Well, come on, Cornflake Girl. Good to have you. Also, welcome on G-Tier. Glad to have you as well. I mean, to be fair, spite is kind of what powered me to get, like, reading One Piece. I was like, fuck it, I'll read it, and then, like, you know, like, okay. Like, there are two, like, because it's happened a couple of times. Like, if it's spite that gets me to start something, I usually enjoy it. If it's spite that gets me to continue playing a thing, I usually walk away from it hating it. Like, I used spite to start reading One Piece, loved One Piece. I used spite to justify continue playing Elden Ring and Dark Souls 1, and I hate both of those games. Like, those games, I am not a big fan of. And then there are certain things where I'm like even if there was enough spite in the world, you couldn't fucking get me started. And I'll be honest with you, I think Star Wars is the example of, like, I do not care how much spite there is. I refuse to fucking engage with that anymore. Star Wars has hit the critical point of, like, I could not you cannot get me to give a shit about the series. Well, it's a lot harder to find multiple books that you really enjoy than find a game that microdoses instant gratification into perpetuity. My spite towards Final Fantasy XIV was because I was the only one in my circle who was not playing the game, so I felt left out and pissed off. That's fair. I think it is one of those things where I'm like, I have friends who, you know, aren't in the Final Fantasy community, so, like, you know, it ends up being one of those, like I actually have a sizable number of friends who are in it, but it's also, like, never been a point of conversation, I guess, because it's never been, like, a major focus of mine. Oh, okay, it's this. There we go. Sucks being the odd one out of the group playing games. I'm like that with WoW and another community. It feels really lonely at times. Yeah, I definitely understand that feeling. So you really take us to Funky Town? Sure, but you're gonna have to pay your own way. All right. Dog car. So TLDR, give it a serious shot, judge it by yourself. Congrats on cleaning the ugly ass house. I will consider it. I won't lie. It is a meaningful, like my schedule is reasonably book solid for the next year. Because I don't think I'm gonna have, like, a meaningful, like, free time until I get done with, like, the Pathfinder campaign I'm a part of. To, like, pick up any other things that, like, you know, unless I start working part-time and, like, I can also make a comfortable living doing that. But also, I would rather spend that time just, like, working out and shit. I'm pretty sure, including me, any person who plays Final Fantasy XIV would be down to help you. Buffbird is very important, too. Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, it is kind of low on the priority list, but if I'm able to start clearing the priority list, I'll put it on there. I think like it to some degree, I'm very much the proponent of the idea that like shorter games can have as powerful experiences. You know, I love games like A Short Hike, or like, you know, like A Short Hike is kind of like my gold standard for like relatively short game. Little Gator Game is also kind of up there. I need to play a Little Gator Game. I forgot that they added the DLC. Start doing thirst content while working out. 2 birds, 1 stone. I mean, I've joked about like if I ever hit Twitch partner, I would start an OnlyFans. And unironically, like, I think, like, working out, like, you know, having some place to, like, post progress pics would be, like, a meaningful, like, incentive to work out consistently. Look up on the take. Look like a sweet bean. I love A Short Hike. The ending made me cry. Also cause. Only cause. But yeah, no, that's one of those things where I'm like it's half joke, but also like I wish I had to, you know. I don't think I would ever want to live like the influencer lifestyle. I just want to be happy. I'll power wash you. Not if I power wash you first. Also, I'm goo, so like I don't know how high pressure water. I would just kind of like slice through me. My body just falls into shreds, and I'm just like, Garion! What if? We power wash each other.
Rats, rats, where the
Wasn't crisp?
Only Labs, where subscribers get an exclusive peek at your latest inventions, and might get a chance to become a part of said inventions.
I like that. I like that idea. I like that. I like this idea. The Only Labs. This car is dumb. I kind of love it. I would drive the fuck out of a car like this. I'm not gonna lie. Hear me out. You and I holding a power wash, and we just blast each other with them. Gary, are you trying to get wet with me? Better than dinner for sure. Gary and I here trying to get me wet. I mean, I'm not saying no. Better than dinner for sure. The plot behind the car is even stupider. Wait, that's right. I forgot there is plot. There's no currently in job. I can't see the like. Welcome on, Roaring Jays. Good idea, sweet bean. Would biting myself count as biting the dust, since most of house dust is dead skin cells? I think that's called autophagy, autophagy. I don't know. I don't know how that's pronounced. I've seen that word written. Also, Keel, how dare you throw a board at me? He's learned to throw a thing I can't parry. Fuck. But how you doing, Jay? It's good to have ya. I will say, it is very freeing, like, to be more confident about just casually flirting with friends. You play fighting games, you should be good at parrying. I'm getting there. Flirting? Yeah. Listen, sometimes some projectiles have an unparryable property to them. Usually they're really, really slow ones. Where do I sign for bird flirting? I don't know, actually. I to some degree, I think it's like a confidence thing where I'm like I'm comfortable flirting with a lot of people. It's just like once I know that it is welcome. There's some people who are like, I view them too much like family, where like you know, even though I know that they would love for me to flirt with them, I'm like, I can't. I would feel guilty. I don't know. That's one of those things I probably should investigate further as like thoughts. But like, you know. Do I wait for the OnlyFans? Is he talking about me? No. Maybe. Roof. Me flirting with Starky is the equivalent of me being a gremlin to Starky. That's fair. I guess it's one of those things like I could probably benefit from unlearning a little bit. Is just being like, just because it's flirting doesn't mean that there's like any intent behind it. Like you can just flirt with friends even though like, you know, the idea is just to make them feel good about themselves. All right. No, we want actual washers. Basically, the guy hired you to clean the car because he wants to do a movie about it. Oh my god. Time for washing flat surfaces at a short range. The surface cleaner cuts through all dirts effortlessly. All right, we got a new one. Provides a great entry level washing experience. Provides power comparable to the medium duty washers of its competitors, but at cost to the area of effect. Okay, so this one's more targeted. This one's more AOE. Interesting. But no, like you know, I would watch to be fair, like isn't that kind of like the like movie Derby? With the one with the bug. I can't remember. What's that one called? I think it's called Derby. There's more than just the basic sprayers. Yeah. You like even the first game had a bunch of upgrades. Herbie. Was the movie called like Love Bug or something? Herbie the car movie. Yeah, it's just called Herbie. You mean the weird kind of sentient scarab car? Yeah, that's the one. Apparently it's called Herbie. All right, let's go watch a billboard. Because both of us are going up in the world. I've become the new mayor of Caldera County in its entirety. While you are to wash my flagship billboard 30 feet above the interstate due south of Lubricity. Inadvertently dirtied by the process that doesn't concern you. I must confess to still harboring grave concerns as to your character, but I remain committed to your sublimity as a power washer. It would be remiss of me not to exploit the talents of someone who, when it's within my power to do so. So the mayor from the last game who tried to commit crimes. He's still the mayor after that? Yeah, it sounds like he's like still somehow the mayor. I know you've had our runs in the past, but I think we let water pass under the bridge in this case, under the highway. I won't lie, this is very appealing, actually. Mirror crimes in a washing simulator. Yeah, mayoral crimes, I suppose. Oh, do each of these have, like, different duties? Who put this German child in my song queue? Oh wait, never mind. Oh no. Yeah, it's the fucking crocodile. Whose German child is this? I say, holding up a child. Don't look at me. It was Cyberventurer. Cyberventurer did this. Okay. I definitely have heard. I've seen the commercial for the skeleton that I think is in German, which sounds like it sounds like a psychotic sentence. But I think there's like a skeleton that's Schnappy the skeleton or something. The guy goes, "Whoa, Schnappy Schnapp Schneep Schnapp." I have no idea. I don't understand German. Hi, I didn't know you're streaming. Welcome on, Fine Point. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Also, yeah, the like start of stream was a little bit weird because fucking Mix It Up Pod decided to update again. A long time ago, my WoW Guild's raid group was failing at a bunch of mechanics. The raid leader got so annoyed that he threatened to play this after every wipe unless we got our acts together. So the raid member started dying on purpose to make him play it. Oh, it's a fucking banger. Better stumble into the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition. It's the fucking Queen. It's like you 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5. It's a way to make a living. It's a living by. It's all taken and no giving. Lose your eye. Never give you credit. Enough to make you crazy if you let it. We love our anti-capitalist queen. Absolutely. On Boss Man's Ladder. I think this and the other song I would put on the anti-capitalist songs that I would love to see make a comeback. 9 to 5 and then Moving Out, which is a fucking banger. Enough to drive you crazy if you let it. 9 to 5. But, you know, Anthony's song slash Moving Out would also be a banger for an anti-capitalist song. Because the entire point of it is, what the fuck are you going to do with the money you earn if you're not going to spend it, you know, on the ones you love? Working too hard can cause a heart attack. remember reading that Dolly is considered a billionaire slash millionaire, forgotten which, because she donates slash does a lot of charity. That sounds about right. I imagine she's probably still a millionaire. I definitely could not see her being a billionaire, though. Although I imagine she probably has made an equivalent amount of money. Physical. I'm kind of here for, like, the like, you know, old music today. Let's get physical, physical, get physical. Honestly, I feel like there's like there are like I think like Dolly Parton is like kind of like for me the difference between like what I call country and what I call pop country. Cause like Dolly Parton's definitely country. You already hear it. Hey, welcome to Death Nation. I feel like Dolly Parton's very much like classical country. Like, you know, I feel like country is at its best when it's complaining about capitalism and like the boots of the man keeping the common folk down. You know, the man in this case being like the hyper-capitalist, exploitative, you know, situation we find ourselves in. But I feel like a lot of the like, you know, I think there was like someone was like, fuck, it was like, not like Nashville country or something like that, where it's like, it's just about like drinking, having sex with your tractor. Like that shit. It's like, I feel like country music needs to be about a thing. Like, that is like an earnest, like, you know, an earnest complaint with life. I feel like if country music is just like, you know, I drink a beer and crush the can in my head and then I have sex with my tractor wife. Like, you know, I feel like that's not country. I don't know. Is Dolly Parton is definitely country, right? Surely. Yeah, no, thank you. Don't want to hear about how you bottom for your tractor. Ah, I see a subscriber to r/cars fucking dragons, and not dragons fucking cars. Instead of having sex with a tractor, they could have homosexual sex. I mean, to be fair, that did give us the legendary song Big Enough. That song is... You only started an hour ago? Normally, yeah. Actually, well, normally I start, like, half an hour ago. I started a little bit early today, just because, like, you know, I had some plans for tonight that I'm like, I need to, you know... If I want to get 3 hours of streaming in, which I always try to do. I always try to go for at least 3 hours, even if I can't always, you know, land it. If you're having sex with your tractor, I argue that's something wrong with your life. To be fair, I am like... I mean, you know, the classic example of, like, songs like that is She Thinks My Tractor Is Sexy. Where I'm like, okay, congratulations. You've talked about how you want to fuck your car. It's like, okay, no, please stop, shut up, go the fuck away. Let actual country music play.
Rats, we're rats. We're the rats.
What's up, Crisp?
City girls use rose toys, but country girls make do. Bob, pass me that corn cob.
The corn cob, ribbed for her pleasure. Yeah, no, because there's definitely like modern instances of like country songs. Poor Man's Poison, I think, is like my go-to example of like, yeah, they still make good country music, but it has to be about a thing. You know, like Poor Man's Poison is mostly anti-capitalist about like, you know, the structure of, you know, the, let's see, you know, anti-capitalist, anti-fascist. It's some good stuff. I highly recommend Poor Man's Poison. If you're like, I don't like country, give it a try. Everyone heard about this new Town of the Year comp? Muck's gonna win for Scherzies. What other town is a statue that fires a beam from its pineal gland into the dormant volcano for seemingly no reason? Well, not anymore. Oh, that's right. So apparently, in canon, someone stole the crystal that was in the statue that was keeping the volcano in check. Hello? Sticky... The fucking... Like, the ladders can be so sticky in this game sometimes. It's like they're coated in glue. Yes, the magic Atlantean gem. Yes, this is not a bit, by the way. This is canon to the Powerwash verse. This game actually... Like, Game 1 actually had a story. With aliens and time travel. I love when like shit like that is like one of my favorite things about JoJo's is like I can make shit up and like the shit that I make up is not even remotely as wild as the shit that actually happens in JoJo's. It's like JoJo's and Baki where I'm like I could, you know. The shit that happens in it is, like, weirder than anyone could possibly create. Are you streaming tomorrow? I want to try to stream tomorrow. Okay, Starky, I just got to say this, but the last time we streamed towards the beginning, it was just making my commute home, and just before I turned into my neighborhood, my radio just erupts with you saying, Liberace! I found Tide laughing because of the randomness. I'm so glad someone else found that as funny as I did. Because it's just me desperately trying to figure out who I'm thinking of. And then, like, literally mid-sentence while I'm trying to describe him as a person, I see Liberace and I just fucking scream it. Oh, my sense of humor is so borked. Like, the funny thing is, like, I feel like that is an encapsulation of my stream as, like, a whole. Is, like, you'll tune out, and then, you know, I'll be talking about whatever bullshit, and then you'll check back in, because all of a sudden, I'll just scream something like Liberace, when it was not even remotely relevant to the thing we were talking about when you last were, like, actively engaging with the stream. I can't even remember the context for me screaming Liberace. The famous musician, Liberace, the guy always under the chandelier playing the piano, that Liberace. Oh yeah, that's right. Because we were talking about it was a joke about the gays who are rich and emotionally unavailable, and I joked that Liberace is very much that, but that there's also this it's like the Punnett square of like rich versus poor, and then emotionally versus, you know, emotionally available versus emotionally unavailable. And how like Liberace is emotionally unavailable and rich, and he's gay, but also I feel like the emotionally available but poor people are also I feel like those people are also usually somewhere on the queer spectrum. First time I heard this mashup of the song is when they had a bit in Family Guy of Meg singing this song in Russian and doing choreography. I don't think I've ever... I don't think because I'm trying to remember like what you're referring to, and it doesn't spring to mind. So I guess it's probably an episode I didn't see. Are you back on Liberace? Listen, I did not invoke the name of Liberace. It's merely a leftover from yesterday. Also, I'll be honest with you, Achy Breaky Heart I also consider kind of like pop country. Do you use subscription services? Yeah. I have like a subscription to like Crunchyroll, even though it's really fucking testing my patience. And then you know, I needed to start buying music and cancel my Spotify subscription. Why do you ask? Just wondering what you watch. Honestly, mostly just YouTube videos. Like, a substantial amount of my time is Starky subscribes to chat bullying him. Like, a substantial amount of my, like, free time, or, like, you know, like, where I'm, like, engaging with, like, you know, it's like I hang out in friend streams, and then, like, YouTube video essays, and, like, those are the two major things. And then I will occasionally watch, like, anime, if it's, like, on Crunchyroll. It's really hard not to give any money to Satan. It really is. It's, you know, there is no ethical consumption under capitalism, and I've tried my hardest to cut down on instances where I am doing that. Which is why I'm like, you know... The world is a fuck, man. I don't know. I'm waiting for the update that just breaks Windows 11 and it's just not usable anymore, because that's an inevitability at this point. Somewhere in the love, bring out the BB-inator. What does the BB stand for? But bring out the BB-inator. Ah, Peter Platypus, I see you're wondering. You're wondering what the BB stands for. Why, you see, it stands for Barra Bird. You see, Perry the Platypus, I am a furry. Dr. Doofenshmirtz absolutely would be a furry, though, to be fair. Very true. Honestly, Dr. Doofenshmirtz would do fucking really well in the furry fandom, too. Wait, I just realized, am I the Dr. Doofenshmirtz of the furry fandom? Hold up, I think I might need to reconsider my life. I might, his first son would be a platypus, though. Oh, absolutely. Or it would be like a sparkle wolf, a sparkle demon angel wolf. I don't know how German, I don't know how German or how sad your childhood was. My childhood was pretty sad. Not very German, though. I'll concede that. I'm back from a situation. Welcome back from the situation. Do we need to take you to the situation room to kill the situation inducers? Doof makes a... Ah, yes, Perry the Platypus. I see you've noticed my defurrinator. You see, I was rejected from the furry community. They said it was rude to just show up in people's DMs and say, hi. Don't worry, the situation was bodily. Okay. You will see, when I was just a young boy, I realized that I had a thing for anthropomorphic animals. Now you may be wondering, what are anthros? Well, let me explain. The point of view, Dr. Doofenshmirtz gives you a lesson about anthropomorphism before turning you into a furry. This might be the dumbest bit I've done on the stream in a hot minute. Perry realizes that he is an anthro. He's trying to turn everyone into furries if he found out Vanessa was one. He would. Oh, wait, you know what? No, Dr. Doofenshmirtz isn't a furry, but he's 100% the, like, he's the, what's it called? Like, he's the ICP dad who, like, has a fursuit because he thinks Vanessa is into it and he wants to be supportive. That is absolutely Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Or, like, he actually turns himself into an animal because he's like, yes, all of the furries do this, right? He did make a robot butler. He could make a Pretogen. Dr. Doofenshmirtz at a furry convention with Perry the Platypus, and he's turned into an anthro like wolf. And Perry is just like trying his best to guide him through. The doof becomes part of the furry community later on. All right. Hey, what the fuck is this music? Okay, but Vanessa's a goth. She for sure would have a warrior cat's OC. I'm unfamiliar with warrior cats, so I will take your word on it. I will take you at your word, rather. As a good portion of the fur community is in STEM. That's a good point, actually. My familiarity with warrior cats comes entirely from YouTube videos. Let's see. That's fair. I definitely find out about a lot of shit from YouTube videos myself, so. Like I said, I love video essays. I'm still fucking astounded by the sheer, like, the sheer takedown energy that fucking Folding Ideas hit. Like, Dan Olson gave the most, like brutal takedown of the entire Beast Empire. No, I'm still recovering from that. So do you think it would be possible to one day have VR setups like in an anime? The video is so good. I watched it so many fucking times. Like that and like the, like there's like someone in the comments that like says something to the effect of like, it's so hypnotic to watch an extremely smart person talk about the dumbest thing you've ever fucking heard about. And yeah, that's both of like, that's the full like 3 hours between both videos of Dan just breaking down the entire structural failures of the Beast Corporation. It's both encouraging and discouraging how much money they waste chasing something that doesn't exist. Question for everyone, who's your favorite video essayist? It actually might be Dan Olson for me. I feel like it's Dan Olson or H-Bomber Guy. Like, I feel like those two are definitely in tight contention. It's both encouraging and discouraging how much money they waste chasing something that doesn't exist. I don't often watch them. I think for me, I view it very much as encouraging because to some degree there was like in that video, I came to the realization that like, for the amount of like community like that you know, like in spite of the amount of money that like underpins and the numbers of the Mr. Beast empire, like I would argue that honestly I probably have a stronger community than he does. which is like, it's very reassuring. The videos of Tommy Tallarico and Jamer Somertons were internet assassinations. I love the fact that in that same video where he talks about Andrew Wakefield getting his fucking Andrew Wakefield was the former doctor, right? Yeah, Wakefield was the former doctor. But you talk about like, oh yeah, the reporter who effectively berserk eclipsed Andrew Wakefield's entire career and then proceeded to do that to James Somerton's entire career. Minus Lindsay Ellis. I like Lindsay Ellis as well, for sure. So a nice reminder that no amount of money will help a morally and artistically bankrupt person. Oh, for sure. Like the entire breakdown is just like actually like fascinating. And it genuinely is like an interesting question of like the idea of like, how do you create fandom? And I think I just tried to do my best, you know? I try to do my best even if they're like, you know, it's somewhere between, like, it's the balance of like try to do my best but also don't let perfection be the enemy of good. Where like, you know, like if I could make these things perfect, but I would never finish them. Oh, interesting. I need to make you watch all three of Lindsay's videos about Phantom. Oh no, I have seen the Lindsay Ellis. I've listened to the audio of the Lindsay Ellis version about the Lindsay Ellis video about Bad Cinderella. And goddamn, Andrew Lloyd Webber is such a fucking asshole. That was definitely one of those things where I listened to it and I'm like, holy, you're fucking kidding, right? They show you the one about the Phantom sequel? I think so? I know about, no, I 100% have seen that one. Because she goes into, like, the details about, like, the history of Love Never Dies. He truly is. And Andrew Lloyd Webber would be definitely a hot competitor for the title of most divorced man in the entire world, if it weren't for Musky Boy, elongated muskrat. That man's got divorced fucking cinched. Like that is his bread and butter, is divorce. So what do you think of my Town of the Year initiative? Nothing like a dose of healthy competition to unite a community, wouldn't you agree? Considering how many acts he may be divorced of reality. Yeah, don't forget about the baby RP Twitter account. That exists. That exists, and we all know about it. And that's like if you ever wonder, like if you're there's ever a moment where you look at the number, like look at the numbers and you're like, motherfucker was RPing his own mom and dad. Yeah. Like if you ever wonder if like the numbers are like, oh, it's like an actual sign of like, you know, success. Remind yourself the richest man in the world has RP'd as his own mother, own father, who talk about how proud they are of him. And also his child. I love the post. One of the funniest fucking posts on Twitter was him being like, they were right, money doesn't buy happiness. And everyone in the replies is like, it could. If you weren't a fucking idiot. Money is wasted on the rich.
Rats, we're rats.
What's up, Chris?
We're the rats.
Big question, in the divorce between Muskrat and Senile Orange, who takes Baby Vance?
The couch. There's her video about the movie of the OG Phantom musical, the video about the Persian, the character they cut from the book in the Love Never Dies video. But yeah, I've listened to the I've listened to, so like one thing I do when I go on like long trips, if I'm doing like a car ride, I will download the audio from a video essay, and I will listen to it while driving. And so I've listened to the Lindsay Ellis video about Bad Cinderella, her one on Love Island, the one about oh god, what's it called? Oh yeah, Once Upon a Time. Once Upon a Time. As someone who has not seen a single episode of Once Upon a Time, what the fuck? Are you confusing Lindsay Ellis with Ashley Norton? Probably? Probably. You legit had the option to be the most beloved person in the century handed to him on a silver platter with how much would it cost to solve world hunger, and he turned it down. He deserves everything he gets thrown at him. Yeah, that happened. That definitely happened. He literally could have solved world hunger. Literally could have solved world hunger, but instead, he bought Twitter, despite clearly not wanting to buy Twitter. I keep having fears that the only thing I listen to is Mother's Basement anime stuff. Mother's Basement's also pretty good. I occasionally go back to his roasts. Money is wasted on the egotistical and rich people. Yeah. Starky, she has a podcast called Music-Splaining, which is her, the musical lover, and her co-host who hates musicals, breaking down musicals before and after watching them. I love incidentally that Andrew Lloyd Webber as a writer is so incompetent. He made a character accidentally. He made the main character of one of his passion projects accidentally homophobic. That's so fucking... imagine being that quality of writer. And Bear coming to Jenny Nicholson. I do love her 4-hour breakdown on the failures of the Star Wars Hotel. I've listened to that so many fucking times. I am surprised you're not doing Subnautica 2. I'll be honest with you. I kind of don't want to play Subnautica 2 after all the bullshit that happened with it. And he made cats. And he made cats. I mean, I might give Subnautica 2 a try, but also, I don't know. I'm like, you know, I quite enjoyed Subnautica 1 and Below Zero, but also, I'm not in the mood for like an underwater thing right now. I'm in the mood for a water spray thing right now. Wait, what bullshit? The Crafton stuff? So yeah, I'm afraid to ask what happened with the underwater thing too. Which more companies fired their incompetent CEO. Okay, so to explain to people what happened, the developers of Subnautica 1 were bought out by a publisher named Crafton. The CEO of Crafton promised the developers of Subnautica 2 that they would get a $100 million bonus if they completed the game within a certain date. The CEO of Crafton, this is my understanding, like this is all alleged, although there are like recorded, I can't remember if it's like if it sold particularly well or if it was just needed to be finished by a specific date. But the CEO of Crafton asked ChatGPT how to get out of paying $100 million and developed a plan where he straight up fired the founders of the studio that made Subnautica 1 and Below Zero, and then took control and slowed down like slow down the process of releasing the games. That way they didn't have to pay the $100 million agreement. So basically, we gotta kill him. I mean, to be fair, the shareholders might. God, I need to watch Season 2 Opinion Stalking with Garter Belt. They legally forced the CEO to honor their agreement in courts and got their leads back in... Yeah. Basically said, no, the game is not ready and has to be delayed even though it was ready. Yeah, even though the game was ready for early access, the Krafton CEO fired the original devs and then said, oh, you know, the game's not actually ready. So that way they didn't have to pay $100 million to the studio's founders and all of its workers. So suffice it to say, I am less enthused about playing that particular game. Because, like, what the fuck? But yeah, so like that whole you know thing has just been like one giant shit show. Admittedly, it's been really funny to like get further confirmation at just how goddamn stupid CEOs are. Like, they might be some of the dumbest motherfuckers that have ever walked this planet's like this planet's surface. Companies need to stop promoting Yes Man. I genuinely think, that companies need no men. Would companies need the equivalent of the like rude American who will tell you that no, your idea is stupid and here's why? Because like there was a fucking company I interviewed for that was like, they're like, yeah, that actually was. Stop. There we go. There was a company I interviewed for where they're like, yeah, we're building Bluetooth, but like 10 times the range. And I'm like, that's cool. I've got some like concerns. Like, that seems like, you know, I would love to learn more about the underlying technology, but I'm sure there's probably some kind of issues that, you know, will need to be sorted out. And I think it pays to be pragmatic about technology. And they just fucking never reach out to me again. They ghosted me.
Fun fact, if you only have forced positivity and yes men, you get games like Concord.
Yeah. And if you aggressively silence anyone who says no, you get what was the other one? The Concord, but it lived like twice as long, which is like 2 months. The British bloke to the Japanese, that American. But yeah, no, I think it genuinely pays. I don't necessarily think it's like oh, you have to have someone who aggressively does not believe in the tasks. But I think it's fucking important to have people who are pragmatic, who are going to say like, hey, this seems cool. If what you're saying is true, that's awesome. But also like you know, none of us remembering the name is telling. No idea. I was thinking the mixtape is a modern version of those. Wait, what happened? I feel like the conversation jumped. I don't know. Twitch probably bugged. It's fine. But no. They were like, oh yeah, we're gonna be Bluetooth, but with like 10 times the range. And I'm like, that's really cool. How do you plan on doing that? And they were like, well, I can't believe, how dare you question our plans. Bye. And then they never reached out to me again. And I'm like, well, because I'm gonna be honest with you, there are so many scams nowadays that my first thought is not like, oh, this is I get to be on the ground floor of a new technology. My first thought is they're trying to get me to give them money. Or like free labor or some shit. And I'm like, you know. So I'm not about that. It's crazy how weird a point that companies think that hiring you is making you a favor. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's like, to some degree, that is the result of like shitty middle management. Like structurally inept middle management is like, because like there's the idea of like when it comes to like middle management, like if you have a boss who's bad at their job, it actually pays to be more mediocre. Because if you are doing your job well and you're able to complete your work quickly, you're making the manager look bad. So they just end up fucking finding some justification to fire you. So, like, you know, it ends up being the case that, like, at some point, only the incompetent people exist, like, for an extended period of time in a company and are thus the only ones who ever get promoted. Then the cycle perpetuates until the company explodes. Do you know that in 1989, PepsiCo became the 6th largest submarine power in the world? This is going to be a pun, I feel like. It's not a pun, it's real. What the fuck does PepsiCo need with submarines? Hello? Nope, in 1989, PepsiCo briefly became the 6th largest submarine power on Earth because the Soviet Union paid for its Pepsi shipments with 17 submarines and 3 warships. The entire Navy was later sold to Norway for scrap metal. Okay, that's actually fascinating. I do like the fact that Norway was able to, like, drive off Russian submarines by having a neon line that said, "This way if you're gay." And that unironically kept the fucking Russian submarines away. So fucking funny. I'm sure that there's more nuance to that where it's like, okay, well, like, obviously, like, you know, obviously if they know we're gonna be here, they lay traps. Why does House of Mo have such good fucking music? Also, I will say, I've officially discovered the bottom layer of gay gotcha hell. Live a Hero is so fucking, like, is so pathetically stingy with their, pulls. It's real bad. You get a 5th of a pull each day. It's not the worst gotcha, like, game with a gotcha mechanic I've ever played. That goes to fucking, Mahjong Soul. Mahjong Soul, where you get 5 pulls a month. Yeah, it feels very... It's not a great feeling for sure. You gotta save a pard. Yeah. It's very discouraging. It's definitely... I'm sure it's fine if you've been playing since the start, but the game only got its English translation in the last year. So, like, why are you so fucking stingy? Like, I don't know. I don't think I would recommend Live a Hero to a new player, unfortunately. I feel like nowadays I'm like, XXL Wolfies is definitely the most generous, so like that's probably would be my recommendation for any players who want to get into the furry / gay gacha game sphere. That's why I dropped Live a Hero. Yeah, I don't blame you. I was still pushing for Anados only because it scratches my tower defense itch. That's also fair. I also feel like Anados and Anados would also be there, like in terms of like games I would recommend to new players. I wouldn't recommend Live a Hero, and I definitely would not recommend House of Mo to new players. Anados actually feels like a game instead of like a vehicle for for buff hunky men, which, like, it's got its appeal. Only problem with XXL is the gameplay loop gets stale after a while. Do the story, do the towers, do the event, and pull for the latest XXL to see the not safe for work scenes, rinse and repeat. And you gotta respect them being so upfront about being glorified porn. Oh, absolutely. And, like, Anados actually has some genuinely funny scenes. President Xi insulted Trump, and Trump agreed because he thought Xi was talking about Biden. Yeah, that sounds about right. But no, like, there's one scene where, like, there was a funny realization when you realize just how horny every dragon is in Another Eidos. Like, the least horny of them is Folker, and one of the first things Folker does in the story is talk about how he would be, like, he would be down to having you share his bed. But also giving a decent gameplay loop with very little power creep. Yeah, because I think they've mostly avoided power creep. %90 of dragons in gay furry gacha games are horrible. Prove me wrong. As an Arcanite's player's Anados is so bare bones. I'm trying to think of, like, I'm trying to think of, like, I mean, Anados probably has, like, 50th of everything. Yeah, you have to remember, it's, like, it's scale. Arcanites is a primarily heterosexual gacha game, which means it intrinsically is going to have a bigger audience, and thus is, like, it's going to, when it comes to, like, like male love, like, you're gonna have to acknowledge the fact that, like, it is intrinsically starting with a smaller audience, so they need to start at a smaller scale. As I heard about it, dragons are creatures of excess, so it sounds about right. But also, Anados Day One's literally a ripoff of Arcanites. Yeah. It's a ripoff of Arcanites, but it's also, like, appealing to a smaller audience, so I don't blame them. It's one of those things where it's like, by no means is Another Eidos perfect, but, like, I do think it does pretty well with what it's got. Could always be worse. It could be worse Tokyo After School gameplay. Yep. Hey, I mean, they did something recently. They added an autoplay button to Tokyo After School Summoners. Dutch! Welcome on in, Raiders! Glad to have ya! For those who don't know, I'm StarkyMorph, big cat screwing internet, very streamer like Rain Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. How was Citizen Sleeper? Raid and run? If you got a raid and run, I completely understand. Thank you for bringing over and over. Shit, the police is here. Scatter, the fuzz is here. But how's if you're sticking around, hopefully you had a good time playing Citizen Sleeper. But yeah, we're power washing, we're yapping, we're currently talking about Another Eidos, which is a very gay homosexual gacha game. That I actually have, like, a yes until the end took 3 hours. Dang. So I've heard good things about the Citizen Sleeper games. I need to probably give it a try at some point. Oh my god, I can tell you right now, this seat's gonna be a fucking pain in the ass to use. Oh lord, why is it like this? I mean, no, thank you for bringing everyone over. We're just chilling, we're yapping, we're cleaning. Honestly, I find games like this just so like pleasant. So like I've been very, very happy to play the second one because I really enjoyed the first one. It's just this nice like cozy little experience. And also like there were aliens and, you know, surprise, you know, anti-authoritarian, you know, claims. Apparently this is called an abseil. Huh. So I got an achievement that said complete a task while abseiling. Which I feel like it would be pretty difficult to do without without making use of the little like floaty chair where you float into the void. Yeah, the thing is I just need to like I need to find some time to like recuperate energy. I think I'll probably be like hunkering down for this weekend aside from like, you know, D&D and like I got Pathfinder on Saturday, and then I think other than that, I'm just gonna like grocery shop and then try my best to like recover. Because I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but I don't think I have any plans for this weekend. It's just like one of those time periods where it's like, you know, life be busy. All right. You're going to go into the swimming pool naked? Why would I do that? It's not even summer yet. Actually, I imagine that there's probably like 1 or 2 pools, but I imagine most of the pools have stayed closed. Because it's like, it's still May. It's like, you know, they're probably in the process of like refilling right now. It's 96 degrees here. That sounds awful. Smart, seriously, can't take Ulysses back? Does he even know about her kittens? Oh my god, the mayor's trying to take a cat. He's trying to steal a cat back. That bastard. You have to Powerwash stop him. I don't think the mayor has turned over a new leaf. I think he's still an asshole. It's our cat now. To be fair, I think we got the kittens. I don't know that we got Ulysses. He doesn't even know it was a female. Oh, absolutely not. Oh, welcome on in, Raiders. Yeah. For those who don't know, StarkyMorph, the aka StarkyMorph Internet. Friday stream every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. EST. Mostly I play indie games. However, every Tuesday and Friday, well, actually every Monday and Friday. Just over the last 2.5 years, I've been learning sports. If you'd like to see that, feel free to stick around. How was lovely Lady RPG? I've never heard of that. Let's see. It's Ulysses, Bubbles, and Squeaky. Yeah, because I know that the one of the cats is here.
Starky, just wondering if you noticed Kasai's name change on Discord.
Yeah, here's Ulysses. Kitty kitty. I have not. But I mean, last I checked, it was Mr. Mayonnaise. Weird and Wild. It's like a trans plural furry RPG. It was good. Interesting. That does sound actually quite cool. That's his server profile name. All right. But no, if you go to raid and run, I completely understand. If you got to like hop out, like you know, and take care of stuff. I know like by the time I'm usually done with stream, I'm like struggling to like even put two words together. So excuse me, how the fuck am I supposed to get this? I have to like kind of like yeehaw. There we go. All right. A Venera. Is this reverse 1999? Okay, I was about to say, it's like... I've heard this song enough times where I've started finally being able to put where it is. I'm like, this feels like an Oceano song. This is a game I maybe should check out. I think it's an RPG. Like a turn-based RPG, which I'm, I don't know, I struggle with turn-based RPGs a little bit, because there's no, like, skill, there's no, like, skill element to it. Well, that's not fair. There's no, like, tactical element. Not tactic, like... What's the haptic element? Tactile. There we go. I know a game you should check out. Starky, there's this visual novel called No More Future. There's no reflex element, turn-based. Yeah. I like my games a little bit, you know. I don't know. I like. It's weird because like I do enjoy some games, but like some games that aren't like super like reflex. Or like, you know, reflex oriented, because I genuinely enjoy like Slay the Spire and like Factorio, but I think those end up being like very thinky. I feel like RPGs aren't like the most thinky genre, if that makes sense. I'm gonna sneeze. Well, I managed to mute in time for the sneeze. You sneeze kinksters will have to go somewhere else to get your fill. As much as I'm joking about the idea of sneeze kinksters, I'm sure they exist. Reverse 1999 is the game I would argue people should read or watch the story, even if they're not into the gameplay. That's fair. God knows I'm that way about Spirit Fair. You can take that from us, but you can't take the door hinge. No one's allowed to rhyme with orange. What's up, Crisp?
Starky, I'm sorry, but I'm making a poll to test your viewers' loyalty.
Hey, what the fuck does that what does that mean? Why does that sound, why did you say that with menace? Who's the cuter goo creature, StarkyMorph or Purro from Changed? Obviously it's Purro. I would vote Purro here. And that's not to say I don't think myself as cute. Corbin? Welcome on in, Raiders! What up, ya? You're Chef for Corbin. How was the hunt? Showdown 1896. Hopefully it was good. Bird Raid, welcome on in, everyone. Glad to have you up for this video. StarkyMorph, the Chaos Going Internet. Friday stream every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. In the last 2.5 years, we learned smart, so I like to see that. Stick around. Fluffy Lumbax, thank you for the follow. Welcome to Lab Check. Thank you, Sweet Bean. The Lumbaxes are the things from Jack and Daxter, right? How in the world am I supposed to clean you if I'm not... Hold up. Maybe I can... Can I do this? Nope. How to trigger a Ratchet and Clank fan in 5 seconds. Ask about Lumbaxes. I don't know. I never had a PlayStation as a kid, so I never got to play any of the PlayStation classics. Assume they're from Jack and Daxter. Wait, I fucked it up. It's Ratchet and Clank. It's the other Naughty Dog property that's a platformer. I biffed it. Sorry about that. That wasn't rage bait. That was actually me forgetting which is which. My fucking goofy ass. But no, I actually never owned a PlayStation, so like all of these like franchises are kind of a mystery to me. I'd love to give them a try at some point, but like, you know, Yarhar and all
Starky,
that.
did you hear about the Little Big Planet YouTuber who was working on fan servers for the game was the reason the game got hacked and the servers got taken down, all because there was an asexual pride flag in the game?
Wait, what? The Little Big Planet YouTuber who was working on the fan servers for the game was the reason the game got hacked and the servers got taken down? All because of their asexual pride flag in the game? Were these hackers paid by fucking J.K. Rowling? Who decided to start beef with the asexual community for no goddamn reason? Oh wait, no, that's not fair. It wasn't for no reason. It was because the Black Mold told her to do it. You know, I gotta say, it's probably not wise to listen to the Black Mold regarding, like, life decisions, but then again, you know, I'm not rich and also in the UK and pretending to be Scottish. I hate that this is kind of a jam, though. British mold sounds weird. British mold is the most odd type of mold for sure. I feel like the mayor from this game would absolutely use AI art when he's making his advertisements. Maybe the hydrate, Sippy. Also, how was the hunt? I think I asked the question, but also if you got a raid run, I completely understand. Since they said kitty. Oh, that's why I'm feeling like I've got no fucking space. It's because I didn't. This is Cupcake remix of Buddy Holly. There's multiple people that could have put this in here. It was good. It was a very good stream. No internet issues like yesterday. Internet issues are the worst, and I feel like Twitch has gotten so much like less consistent. In part because they decided to move all their digest servers over to fucking AI, the dumb bastards. Who put this in the queue? I mean, it's an even... This seems I didn't get to say hi. Welcome on, Anish. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. It's a coin flip on whether this is Oceana or you. It was you, Zeph. You did this. I do love Mary Tyler Hoare. It's a really good line, read it. Welcome on, Niche. How you doing, you sweet bean? I'm gonna be honest with you, I have no idea who Buddy Holly is. I know he, like, died in a plane crash, and that's the extent of my knowledge. I assume he did some kind of music. Wasn't the song American Pie about the Buddy Holly dying in the plane crash? Or am I misremembering? Despite the minor slip up earlier, I like your vibe, funny bird person. Well, thanks. That's very sweet of you to say. I like to think that I'm funny. Although most of the times I feel like I'm only funny to myself. But that's enough. No one else needs to understand my jokes, just me. Why can't we combine Starky and Purro? A lot of popular musicians died with Buddy Holly. It's referred to as the day the music died. Wait, was it like an entire plane full of musicians? The day the music died. There were like 5 of them. You are plenty funny and interesting to hang out with. That is very sweet of you to say. Even if I will never agree. I'm a creature. I'm the creature from hit 90s movie Gremlins. I've never watched that movie. I know you're not supposed to get them wet and you're not supposed to feed them after midnight. That's like those are the rules. They're like those are the only 2 rules that are established and both of them get broken. Agree with me, nerd? Never. I would rather die. Starky Watt. I watched them at the time. They're plenty dumb. Highly recommended. Oh, for sure. Like they always struck me as being like the brain off, goofy child movie. Well, I'm the cupcake guy. Buddy Holly is Zeph's domain and supersedes the queen in specificity. You know what? Fair enough. They're very self-aware and enjoyable. I kind of miss the days. Sing a diss track for one of your mods, your choice. I don't know any diss tracks off the top of my head. Just try. Break down, down, down. No, wait, no, it's takedown, not breakdown. Ruby, forgive me. I cry into the corner. This is good improv. I need to figure out some dinner, you sweet. I'll be lurking. Want me to choose a different topic? Breakdown is the start of the JoJo opening. All right, I got this. Why did you start singing the JoJo OP? Well, no, it's supposed to be take down, down, down. Huntrix girls across the world. It's a takedown. No, but all right. Let me tell you about the bird of all time. This bird that is the constant source of stress and anxiety in my life. It's like a nettle, except it's exclusively between my toes because he is. He points at him because he's a brat. It's fucking Zeph, formerly known as Swariel, formerly also known as Soyriel. He's a present here, and he's just a constant goober, and it's nice to have him, but also, goddamn, I have Buddy Holly trauma and also time loop trauma, but that's kind of unrelated and entirely secondary. But also, the Buddy Holly trauma is very deep, and I can't get it out of my head anymore. So thanks for that. There you go. Wait, is this this is the Spice Girls. I did not realize the Spice Girls were British, I will be honest about that. I thought they were American. For the longest time I thought they were American, for sure. Same. They're apparently very distinctly British. So like I was definitely surprised to find out that bit of it, particular bit of information. Platform frame. Hitch handle.
Rats, we're rats. We're the rats.
I'm going to say something controversial that is going to get people angry. The Spice Girls are the yassified version of the Beatles. I will not elaborate.
No, wait, but you're kind of cooking. You're kind of just right. They're the girl boss Beatles. That's not even, I wouldn't even necessarily call that a hot take. You're stating facts, absolutely. There we go. I do. I love how the things I'm standing on don't get rendered. So I just hover. I hover in the air. It makes me feel so powerful. Dirt Finder, I'm sure we're both more than happy to forget everything that has happened and to forge an incredible future together side by side. Well, not side by side, but I'll be in front and above. Fuck you, Jeff Jefferson the 13, you piece of shit. Probably be hot at their peak, but it's been so long ago. Yeah, that's the thing. Isn't it astonishing how the universe works? We've just finished our annual karmic mud flinging workshop, and we're looking at our wonderful team room covered top to bottom. When my assistant asked if it would ever be clean again, I laughed and said, "Of course it will." And at that exact moment, a flyer for a power washing company blew into the courtyard and stuck itself to the wall. Whilst the mud made that one unreadable, it reminded me that we already had a number we already had your number from Harper, who'd had a great time at your workshop. Oh, I hated the achievement on that stage. Is it like wash the entire thing without like moving any of the like equipment? The gnome. I was looking, but I don't think that they're like, I think the gnomes in every stage got replaced with cats in every stage. No, you gotta seat all the gnomes at the table. Hold up, you make an extremely compelling point. I need to clean the table first. There are still gnomes on every stage alongside the cats. Okay, so I've just been missing the gnomes. I'll admit, those are some impressively well-hidden gnomes, because, like, I was actively looking for them. Don't know if you've ever tried karmic mud flinging. It's quite amazing. Sometimes in the background? Okay. First, you think of anyone who has ever wronged you, then you pick up a big dollop of mud and flinging it while uttering what we call the expletives of forgiveness. I would try karmic mud throwing. Oh, absolutely. Unironically, like, and this is maybe a sign of, like, you know, severe, like, childhood instability. But, like, I definitely, like, when I was a kid, I played a lot of soccer, and I would always imagine the soccer ball was one of my bullies' heads. And I would just kick the fuck out of it. So, like, you know. Dink donk, trauma detected. Oh, that's some Doofenshmirtz shit? I mean, probably. Oh, your imagination was less violent than mine? I suddenly don't feel bad. I suddenly feel like I actually wasn't that bad. I was actually a relatively good child. I mean, I played good soccer, so, like, you know, it was working. But, like, that is one of those things I look back now and I'm like, you know, some of the shit I did as a kid probably was deeply worrying to, like, any, like, if any adults were paying attention, they were probably pretty worried. Repo time? Enjoy repo time. I will maybe be joining you later, depending on if y'all are still online after I take care of the other thing that I have planned tonight. No, no, throw a Pikmin. Do I look like a thing that you're supposed to throw a Pikmin at? Bust a Groove, Kitty N's song. We can be friends. It'll probably be the others without me. I have to GM. Oh, okay, understandable. Hopefully GMing goes well. I kind of miss GMing. I definitely have been putting together like a world and characters in my mind that I think would be like fun to run as I'm learning more about like Pathfinder. I might do that at some point. Also, welcome on in Shadow Camel and Bacon Magician. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Starky Hero, I finally caught a stream again. How are you? I'm doing all right. Currently, we're just yapping and power washing. We're actually closing. We're in like the last 20 minutes, so I probably should stop the raids, just that way people don't you know. Time for me to go pick up Dave's Hot Chicken. Hopefully you enjoy Dave's Hot Chicken. You ever say you're gonna do something and immediately ADHD for gore? It's less ADHD for gore and more like I have 10,000 things on my plate at any given time. And it kind of like falls to the back of the queue. There's a lot of stuff that I would like to do, but I do not have the time or energy. I don't think I've ever had Dave's Hot Chicken though. That sounds tasty. I know there's like a hot chicken place here in Indiana where they uses fucking ghost peppers. They're fucking like in mild medium, like the midway point between mild and medium uses fucking ghost peppers. How's your professional gay bird opinion of the new Star Fox designs? I quite like them. I like them, but the official renders also kind of look like ass. What's up, Chris?
It's time to turn off raids or else everything will explode.
Don't worry, I just did that. So the official renders of the characters in good lighting look great. The renders of the characters in the ship look fucking awful. I think that's the differentiation between me. I like the fur, but sadly for me, Falco is just off. You don't like the chicken legs? I feel like the new Star Fox designs are very much like the differentiation point between like furries and monster fuckers. Where I feel like you know, like the energy they give is more monster fuckery now, but I still would. Please remember to get enough rest between your packed schedule, Borb. I try my best. I'm getting a good restful weekend in this weekend, so. Anyone else going to Ferality? I will not be going to Ferality. Have you considered Wolf O'Donnell? I mean, Smash. Like, I like the character designs for sure. I think the big thing, and it's part of the reason why I think Peppy looks the best of like the designs, is that I swear they're fucking horrified of making like snoots and beaks as long as they need to be to look good. Like that's something that they've kind of inherited from Hollywood that still pisses me off. Is because like Hollywood prosthetics could make the werewolves hotter. Give them longer snoots, you fucking cowards. Stop this half werewolf fucking face looking shit. It looks awful. I want werewolves that I can fuck. Also just realized it's Fox McCloud and Wolf O'Donnell as in Mick Donald. Very subtle, Nintendo, very subtle. I mean, it is kind of funny because I believe McCloud, like Mick and O are like, they're Scottish prefixes that mean like son of and grandson of.
Wretch, we're the wretch.
Money is temporary, werewolf is eternal.
Exactly. I'm okay with the designs mostly. I legit dislike Falcos. There's a bunch of things I dislike fused into EO. Apparently the Toga, I do like how the entire community was like, poor Togepi, and Togepi just like, anytime someone mentions him in a tweet regarding like how he must not like the designs, he shows up to like the tweet about how he doesn't like the designs, and I'm like, you know what? I respect Togepi. Togepi is great. They didn't do a remake of Adventure because the goonening of Crystal would overload the internet for a few weeks. They're fucking cowards. Togepi, please, I can explain. I mean, they still have the old designs. It's not like the old designs have gone anywhere. 75 stream streak. When I get to 100 stream streak, you legally need to pay me 100 mayos. What the fuck is a distinct bespoke unit of mayo? Riddle me this, motherfucker. Are you looking for like tubs, like drums of mayonnaise, like an industrial like drum, like they keep fucking oil in? Kewpie mayo? Like what? This music coming on. It came out on a really good timing in terms of me deciding to just say some dumb shit. What's up, Crisp?
Just wanted to point out the numbers in Kasai's username on Discord changed from 1709 to 6709.
Death. Your Honor, League of Legends. Death. When you expect a wolf snoot and end up getting the pig treatment of squimp snoot. Okay. That's like my biggest issue with Chopper and the One Piece live action adaptation is that they fucking squish his snoot to oblivion and it looks terrible. It's not so bad during action shots, but whenever you actually get a close up of the actor's face in the like suit, it looks terrible. It looks so bad. 100 units of mayo, take it or leave it. What is a unit? Give me a measurement, motherfucker. At least they did Chopper less than the Animal Farms did. I think the Animal Farm, like the new Animal Farm adaptation might be the single most fucking heretical thing imaginable. They literally took the text as is and fucking destroyed it. Send you a thing, Starky, on Telegram?
Wretch.
Okay.
Wretch. We're the wretch.
I appreciate it.
Important poll time. Who's voicing StarkyMorph in the live-action remake?
I swear to God. Seth Rogen or Chris Pratt? Is this the cost of fame? Is this the cost of fame that you have to be voiced by Seth Rogen or Chris Pratt? Welcome on in, Zephyr. Good to have you, Sweet Bean. But no, Phoenix, I appreciate that. I was thinking more that like I would be running the campaign. The continued inbreeding of these animals is truly saddening. And they're just offering if you need a gem. I appreciate it. There's definitely some stuff about like Pathfinder 2nd Edition that I think is like a really fun addition. Like the fact that you start with 3 actions, but like taking consecutive attacks is like really bad because each consecutive attack is like at -5 cumulatively. So the first one you get your full chance to hit. The second one is -5 and the third one's -10. Oh yeah, please let's burn all dog breeding places. Oh, absolutely. You know, I miss when playgrounds were more whimsy and less personality.
Wretch. We're wretch. We're the wretch.
Who is most to thank for the furry revolution? I think early Disney did a lot. I was thinking about it as I looked at Nick Wilde's Mad Bedroom Eyes Look Lal.
I mean, I think Disney is up there, DreamWorks is up there. I feel like anime doesn't really pull its weight often because there are kimono shows, but like they end up being very like ooh anime girl instead of like ooh furry. Disney did a good job, but you can't forget all the 80s and 90s cartoons full of muscle leather furries and men. Yeah. Biker Mice from Mars, Street Sharks, SWAT Cats, Road Rovers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Those are the ones that come to mind. There's definitely more. Even He-Man. Oh yeah, He-Man, absolutely. Someone's sexual awakening with Skeletor, and I respect the fuck out of them. Whoever, if you're out there and your sexual awakening with Skeletor, fucking king shit. Thundercats? Oh, Thundercats, absolutely. How could I forget Thundercats? Hey, Sergey, I want your thoughts on the thing I DM'd you. I'll check real quick. This is an immediately a concerning thumbnail. Digimon had mine, so I had to stay quiet here. Yeah, unfortunately, now that I'm in the Digimon camp, I will also... Now that I enjoy Digimon, I will never beat the feet allegations, unfortunately. Digimon was for me. Join you in the corner. So this is what I got sent from Kasai. the No, the lightning bulb. I like that idea of them as like parasitic entities that just spontaneously appear and suck out your life force. But allegations better like it in the other direction. Yeah. Listen, the designs for Digimon are great. Also, every single one of them has huge ass feet. Digimon feet are so big, legit. It's like, you know, remember that Flapjack episode with the hearts? It's basically that, yeah. Kitty, Pet Ulysses, Squeak, and Bubbles. Oh, Pokemon? Pokemon is probably also thanks to the Furry fandom, although there's mostly non-anthropomorphic. All right. I have to clean up the other teacups. We gotta make the gnome party. Sorry, I can't see Digimon feet. I'm too focused on their muscles. The muscles. I mean, that's also hot. Starky's getting voiced by Chris Pratt. Well, this is my last stream. I can't risk getting famous because I don't want my fucking character voiced by Chris Pratt. This is the last one. I say, throwing several horses in front of the carts. Or several carts before the horse. Sergey, I would like to tell you my construction joke, but sadly I'm still working on it. Unfortunate. You have to let me know when it's done. Oh, Pokemon is probably also thanks to the furry fandom, but there's almost no non-anthropomorphic. Oh, it's a banger. Bang, 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 bang. I hate how much of my brain space is dedicated to remembering this song. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, 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 bang. And the live-action Starkey will be played by Scarlett Johansson. And it's to see a burb in the community as well. For sure. Thanks for stopping by, you sweet bean. It's been a hot minute. To be fair, we have been playing apparently some stuff that you'd struggle to stick around because of spoilers and or discomfort, which I don't blame you for not being able to stick around for Danganronpa. That game is a lot.
What does this
I am relatively immunized against anime bullshit, and even then I'm still like, God damn it.
You have no idea what it...
Back by unpopular demand, me.
Oh, so Pal World is literally made as a ripoff of Pokemon. Pokemon stuff? Yeah. Alright. Pal World has a dating sim on the way? Excuse me? Toko and Ifumi are a challenge upon all of us. Can you play a song with a fucking beat? I do love her. I love Chapel Roden's like asides. I feel like if they're giving us 6 seats, they gotta give us 6 gnomes. Pal World was open on Wait, he does. How nice to know they're having tea. He doesn't know. I don't know what. Oh, about the Pal World. Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with the Pal World. Okay, the question is, would the last gnome be on top of the tea house? Honestly, we talk about how fucking, like, athletic the main character is, because he just sprint everywhere. There it is. Alright, gnome tea party. Tea time. In the teapot tea room job, place a gnome on each seat. Excellent. I hope they save like that. I know they won't. Protag never missing leg day. So wait, is this song about how Chaperone is a lesbian because men aren't good at sex? Because if so, that's really fucking funny. Chaperone's gotta go into those ranked competitive sex lobbies I keep hearing about. No casual sex, only ranked competitive here.
Where the wretch?
Grabs you back to DMs to see the stating sim that the Powerworld devs apparently committed to.
Okay, surely this has gotta be like, more than just pals? Okay, first of all, I'm checking real quick. This has gotta be April Fool's, right? Fuck. I clicked on it. I think they redirected me. I'm still doing my placement games for my ranked sex experience. March 31st, 2021. Okay, so it was supposed to be an April Fool's. I imagine it was like 11:59. First one was an April Fool's. The second was a follow-up. Wait, this is actually... There are two of these? Okay, I'm gonna judge them based on what designs, because I've not played Palworld, so this is the first time I've engaged with any of these designs. A cute shy boy, timid unless provoked. Chill it. Okay, I'm starting to get we're starting to get somewhere. We're starting to get somewhere. There better be. That's. I see they've upgraded from stealing from Pokemon to stealing from Danganronpa, because this is just Junko Inoshima. This is one-to-one Junko Inoshima with different character with different colors. That's one of the bosses. Oh, never mind. Never mind then. What the fuck are you? What are you? What the fuck is this? That's horrifying. It's a black market merchant? Black marketeer. Junko in a different flavor of freak. Okay, there is a Bara character, apparently. That's just an evil bastard from any hentai. Her pal is buff. Can we romance any buff characters, or no, we just have to eat shit? Go away. Oh God. Is it? Okay, so there's flavors of DDLC here. I'll fight her for that, dude. I'll throw down with Junko Inoshima, except palette swapped. I'll fucking throw down. I don't care. He's playing Slay the Spire too. Honest. They're so real for this, actually. Wait. Dude isn't paying attention. The fucking you can hear very faintly. You can hear very faintly the Slay the Spire music. Welcome on Nakamura. I'm glad you're sweeping. Hi, Palace Swap Junko. I don't care that your real name is Zoe. Wait, we're getting 3 variations of Chill It? Oh, Quivern is its own thing? Nurse Saya. This is a sphere? Is that my head? Wait, what? Okay, so it's DDLC, but with furry animals. Hang on, Saya, that's a Genshin ripoff? Oh no, it's a Yandere simulator now. Palworld more than just pals. In development soon, we promise. I mean, I'll fuck it. I'll play it. I don't care. I'll give it a shot. Palworld DDLC spinoff. No thanks, I'll skip on principle. That's fair. Ever play the KFC dating sim? I have not. I refuse to play that one on principle. Because that one's just capitalism. I might play the Rivals of Aether dating sim, though. Maybe next Valentine's Day, if I stream on it. You can't skip the KFC, you can't skip KFC for capitalism to play the Palworld one, though. I mean, okay, here's the thing. The Palworld one, like, you know, it is advertisement, but, like, it's also dumb enough where I'm, like, I'm willing to give it a pass. Also, it's not, like, a Fortune 500 company, so, like, that makes it less offensive for me to be like, oh, okay, maybe I'll give it a shot. I still probably won't play it, but, like, at least it's more amenable for me to consider playing it. Now I think about it, you never do anything special for Valentine's Day. Time to change that, maybe. Maybe we'll make the we'll start changing that on next Valentine's Day. We're also not sexualizing a dead person who hated their company has become. That's also fair. But no, to be fair, like, why would I'm of the opinion where I'm like, I don't really give Valentine's Day much like additional precedent. Just because it's like, I don't know. I consider it kind of like any other day. Like, you know, insofar as that, like, it's something that, like, you know, it happens, but it doesn't apply to me. So I just, like, admittedly, I tried to go to a bunch of friends. I tried to go with a bunch of friends to go get Hot Pot. Why care if you're single? Exactly. I tried to go get Hot Pot with a bunch of friends on Valentine's Day, and that was a fucking mistake. The Hot Pot place was banging. Like, it was so fucking busy. My partner and I celebrate Valentine's Day on any other day. Yeah, like, it literally, like, it's Valentine's Day is also, like, so deeply corporate that, like, even if I were in a relationship, I feel like I would want to celebrate, like, a week after Valentine's Day. Because, like, I don't want to fucking deal with the massive crowds that are inevitably drawn out to restaurants by Valentine's Day. I'm just, like, I'm not a big, like, cultural, like, applied monomyth person where, like, I'm gonna do the thing that everyone else expects and wants. Because, like, a lot of times it ends up coming out, like, at expense to me in a way that, like, makes my life worse. And, you know, I'm like, I ain't about that. There we go. I feel like this is a good place to stop. Because it is 8 o'clock, i.e. we've been going for 3 hours. Hold up, how do I close out this game again? It's just like going all the way back, right? I'm gonna crash out. How the fuck do I close this game? Oh wait, no, I shouldn't close this game because it's got fucking cloud syncing on the middle one. All right, thank you for that. But no, thank you for hanging out. Hopefully you guys had a good time, just yapping. And yeah, we will be back tomorrow where I will be returning to my, you know, eternal struggle against, you know, dealing with art and shit. But let's see who's live. Let's see. I want to say I ran into a Thunderfang member yesterday, so it is open to whomsoever I would like to stop by. Right over to Easel. It's been a hot minute since we stopped by over there. Oh wait, you know who we should stop by? It's been a hot minute since I've had the chance because he hasn't been streaming. He's been busy. Let's go stop by Poppin's place. Poppin, heckin' super sweet, very dog coded. Rivals Vather enjoyer. I enjoy hanging out in Poppin streams a lot. Very, like, a lot higher energy, but also, like, he's been recovering from like finals, so it's probably a little bit lower energy today. Let's start the raid over though. If this is your first time here, I'm StarkyMorph, big at Chaos Cody Internet, Friday streamer live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. A little bit spotty recently, but you know how it is. Over the last 2.5 years, we learned smart, so if you'd like to see that, feel free to stick around. We also have a Blue Sky if you'd like to see the art that they make, art they get commissioned, general ramblings, all that good stuff. You know, a lot of repost of, like, other artists I follow that I'm like, I love their style. We got the YouTube, like, to catch up on the VODs there, see what we've been up to, see the artistic progress, catch up on the Day in Office streams in time for next week, where we'll be continuing with Marshmallow Bears. We got a Discord if you'd like to pop in there, Saddle Sweet Beans, see the first content of Sweet Beans posts. And of course, a coffee sponsorship if you'd like to pick up some coffee from Dragon Roast Coffee. With this, going to go to StarkyMorph to get 10% off. And it's really, really good coffee. I highly recommend it. I love you guys to bits. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for the raids. Be sure to go follow all the people who stopped by. Corvid, Gar, and Dutch Hund, who are all super duper sweet. Very amazing people. I love you to bits. Tomorrow, we will be continuing my awful, terrible, no good, very bad mistake in terms of trying to manage the horrible monstrosity of a task I've laid in front of myself and for the art process. But for now, I love you guys so much. Have a wonderful evening, and I will catch you all tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful Friday. And yeah. Bye. Bye-bye.